Guess what my favorite number is? No? Does anybody know how to say my name in Spanish? Or the number, my favorite number in Spanish? Tracy. So like someone said yesterday, a lot of times 13 gets skipped. Like the floor that I'm staying on in this hotel happens to be 13, but really they call it 14. So I love finding out different tricks to do with numbers. I want to thank Scott Kim and Nancy Blackman for getting me to be invited here. I was thrilled to speak at the Gather Town on a Saturday morning a few weeks ago. It's kind of a last-minute planning here, last-minute getting to speak. So I'm just thrilled to be here. You are my people. I wish when I was 14 years old I had come to one of these events because I was at a turning point of my life trying to decide who I wanted to be, and math was my savior in school. And wanted to become a math major, but ended up getting discouraged and chose economics and business route instead, and then fulfilled my lifelong dream of becoming a middle school math teacher in my 40s. And that's when I came up with the idea for a math museum. So I want you to imagine if everyone in the world felt like a math person, the kinds of problems that we could solve. This has been something I've reflected on a lot during the pandemic as I was starting this nonprofit to bring a math museum to the Seattle area. And I am just heartbroken by our test scores in Washington State and all across the country, and the fact that so many people say, oh, I'm just not a math person. Like, how can you live without being a math person? It's so fundamental to how we think and feel. So we really are trying to set this lofty goal of having everyone be confident in saying, I'm a person and I do math. I'm a math person. So our mission, also very lofty and broad, but that's what they say you should do with a mission, is we want to spark each and every person to love math. And I think there are many ways to bring math into the fold. And this conference shows how many ways we can do that. Our logo designer brought together the math symbols to create a really fun and what we call a spark logo. Our vision is to take people on a math journey. We want to create opportunities for exploration, discovery, and growth. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this slide because you all know that our children are not learning math in a way that we all feel is so important to learn math, and the numbers are tragically low for our children of color and in certain demographics. And we want to change that. Why do children not want to engage with math? They say, and this is for adults too, you hear many people say, math is boring. When will I ever use this in life? People who look like me don't do math. I've heard many people say lately that you have to see it to be it. We need more women and people of color engaging with math and teaching our younger generations so that they are inspired to be what they can see. People say, I'm just not a math person. I just don't get it. They have a low frustration tolerance, perhaps. I know many of you here, like me, will spend hours on a puzzle. I didn't realize I was a Martin Gardner fan until this conference, when I saw things that I have been playing with since a child that I didn't know came from him. That cocktail problem with the matchsticks. I spent 2 or 3 days working on that problem when someone showed it to me in college, determined not to give up. We need more of that kind of attitude with our children, not to give up so easily. Math is too much memorizing. Math is more than numbers. It's more than the times tables. People get afraid of being wrong, but as we know, being wrong and trying again and finding new solutions is what helps us grow as mathematicians. So throwing out STEM, because the M always gets forgotten, I came up with a new acronym, which is MATHS, with the S on the end, because my parents are British. And these are the portals to me to bring people into math, to make math more accessible. We want music, art, technology, history, and science to be highlighted in our museum to draw people in, because most people like at least one of these, if not multiple of them. And if we can combine subjects and show how we can all be polymaths, that we can bring our storytelling about math into puzzle making and drawing pictures like Sona art, which is from Africa, which brings an array of dots together with one singularly drawn line that creates a character in the story that's being told while that line is being drawn. If we can bring things together like that, we're just going to be able to wow people with how math is everywhere and math is for everyone. So our goal is to build a dynamic museum to house engaging math exhibits, and I just realized I'm running out of time. So I have a longer version of this talk that you can watch on Zoom 3 times a month if you go to our website, but I wanted to end with this slide, which is that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And those peachy salmon-colored dots, there's 14 of them. Thank you.